gamer girl Chibine, aka Chibs, and I'm back. Hello, hello, hello. It's so nice to be back. I took a little bit of a break, but I'm here now. So it's all good. So today we're going to be showcasing some more Elder Scrolls Online and some housing builds. I'm thinking the one that I want to show you guys is a larger home for tonight. So we're going to start with that, I think. And depending on how things go, might be doing some more PvE adventuring. And yeah, just go from there, I guess. It's just going to be really chill kind of vibe. If you guys want to talk about gaming industry, what kind of games you guys are currently playing, if you want to talk about ESO itself, or if you have questions regarding Elder Scrolls Online, by all means throw it out in chat. That's what it's there for you guys to access, and just ask away, and I will try and do my best to give you the information that you need at your fingertips and whatnot. Let's see here. Just want to bring up a couple things before I forget to do that. 1 second here. Okay, I think we're good to go. So let's start up the game, shall we? Right, and we are going to be playing on the NA North American server on PlayStation PS4 Pro. I have 4 accounts, believe it or not. NA and EU on PlayStation and NA and EU on PC. But my main account that I first started with that has the most hours is this one that I showcase and stream for you guys. You get to see all the lovely things I've collected, accomplished, houses, all that fun stuff. And we're going to be showcasing with my main character here. So let's just log her in right now. Give it a second here. Now, if you missed out last stream, that's okay. Don't worry. What happens is Twitch has up to, I believe, 14 days that it will save my videos, so you can check them out down below. But if you didn't get a chance or it's not there by the time you do check, that's all right. Any housing builds specifically, I do try my best to always upload them on my YouTube channel, so you can always check it out there as well, in case you guys want some ideas and you're like, Jibs, I can't remember what you did. I remember it was this house, but I wanted to use it for reference material, that kind of stuff. And can I have access to see what pieces you used? Well, you can always check it out there. And all the details in regards to YouTube and this Twitch page, and also X, if you use that for social media, for any alerts and updates and that kind of thing, are all on the actual About page. So just check that out down there. And to make sure you don't miss out on this stream and any other streams in future, if you're not following me, you're more than welcome to. As well as make sure you turn on your notifications. If you don't do that, then sometimes you miss out on some really cool stuff that I showcase when I do my different streams. All right, now today's stream, I wanted to showcase this house. I have many, many, many houses. 1 sec here. So I go to collections and you go into housing. If you are not aware of that, there are 3 different classes that you can choose from. You have either your stable homes, your classic homes, and notable. Well, that's great, Chibs. What the heck does that mean? Well, stable homes are the smallest class. Classic are your mid-tier class, I guess you could say. And then notable are the largest houses that you can possibly get on Elder Scrolls Online. Now, this one I don't believe is classic. Oh, no, it is. Sorry, my mistake. So this is a mid-range house that we're going to be showcasing today. It is Antiquarian. I can't even pronounce this today. I'm so tired. Basically, Alpine Gallery. And it's in Western Skyrim, and it is a classic home. And what does that mean? So it should have up to about 600 traditional pieces that you are allowed to put in this mid-range house. Now, some of the houses, though, it might be a little bit tricky but that's usually the maximum allowable for mid-range. Whereas the notable homes, it's usually 700 traditional pieces maximum. And stable homes, trying to think off the top of my head, I believe it's like about just under 200, or if not 200, around there kind of thing. 150 to 200, we'll say, in between there, depending on the size of the suite or the house that you're looking at. But that's usually the maximum allowable. And yeah, so like I said, this is in Western Skyrim. And if you look at it on the map, I'll show you exactly where it is. I'll just zoom out. I'm not sure if you can see right there. Zoom in. Antiquarians. I've been having so many problems pronouncing words today. But that's the house right there. And way back when, I got this as a free house, believe it or not, which is super cool. Not so much now. Now, when it comes up, you do have to pay for it. It was, again, a promotional item that Elder Scrolls Online Bethesda had when Western Skyrim became available way back when. And if you're lucky enough and you scooped it up, well, you got a free house. And before I forget, if you guys are playing Elder Scrolls Online currently, don't forget, because I'll just go here quickly. If you go to Activity Finder, before the end of this month, to celebrate Elder Scrolls Online 10th year anniversary, they put this in place. And you can win not one, not two, but 3 different items here. And the first one is a really neat housing piece. This one, Canarthy's Icon of Storm Control, which is really nice if you want to have your house dwelling to be set at a certain kind of weather pattern. It's either cloudy or kind of like rainstorm, or really nice and sunny. And as long as you have that in the house itself, then yeah, the system, if it's one of these houses that are outside that you can access outside, you can see that, which is really neat. The next stage at level 15, you could win 35,000 gold pieces, which is very nice. And then lastly, if you get all 25, I have actually 26 because I've been continuously going on this, but that's okay. You only need 25 and you get a free house, guys. I can't stress this enough. It's really worth it. It is a huge house. It's the largest class house that you can get, and they give it to you for free. If you didn't get a chance, check out my last video. I do a bit of a walkthrough through there, and you get to see everything because you can't see a preview of it unless you complete this. All right. And it's really, really easy. You just go through all these different items here that they have listed, and you just have to do what they ask, either so many times or so many of a certain thing. And once they're completely unlocked, then you get basically one thing completed at a time until you reach the end goal, which hopefully for you guys, if you can, get the full 25, which would be awesome. All right, now heading back to this house. Oh, because I'm not logged into my house, you're going to see other people in different instances. So let's go in, shall we? Now, once we actually load into my house, my version of this house, hopefully you won't see other players running about in it. Shouldn't anyways, unless you have allowed your permissions to be such where you can let other people and players access your house. And you can do that with either different, if you're in different guilds, you can allow certain guild members to check that out if you wish, or you can just completely lock it and no one can get in there. All right, isn't this beautiful? Oh my goodness. So pretty. Aurora Borealis in the works as we speak. That is so pretty. I was hoping that might happen, but I wasn't sure because depending on the time of day, you won't see that obviously. But this is the house. Really, really nice. Now, the house originally has a couple things that I took. Like, there are two pillars at the beginning here. I didn't like how they looked. They just looked kind of odd. They just stuck out of nowhere. Didn't have like a cross beam or anything for an archway. It just looked odd. So I took those out, but that's in there originally. And then I made two additional kind of little structures that weren't originally on the property itself. And so let's go take a look, shall we? Okay. Now we're going to, I think, go in first person mode to see a couple things. Yes. All right. Now, oh, this is another thing I added as well that wasn't on here. I added this lovely well because I thought, you know, if you're living in this house, you probably need access to water, and what better way to do that than have your own personal well on the property? And this is what I came up with. This is a fantastic well. I'm going to go into housing editor mode. So in case you guys are kind of curious, oh, what's the name of that? So this is Solitude Well, which is covered. I added some interesting things to it as well because it's not included, hence the Nord lantern cage, as well as the common lantern hanging. Now, if you're wondering, well, why did you do that? Well, it's actually quite dark without that there. Oh, isn't that so pretty? You see the moon in the background there. Beautiful. And I thought, especially at nighttime, it's kind of a nice touch. Has a little life with the animation, hence the swaying of the one swinging lantern there. And I thought that's perfect. It looks really, really nice. Now, this here is not included in the property whatsoever. I actually made this. I thought, you know, with such a huge house, which is, let's see here. Yes, 600 pieces, right. 600 traditional furnishings, 8 special, 40 collectible furnishings, and then special collectibles 8. There you go. Now, this I thought was very necessary to put in here. And I wanted to put some cargo boxes and firewood. And I love these braziers. And I just like the idea with the stone. I thought, you know, what if you had someone here who was kind of like a farmhand type person, and or a masonry or blacksmith, that kind of thing. And I thought, you know, that would look really, really cool. And I thought just a little area. And the reason why I did this is because there's nowhere really inside the house to do that kind of work. And I thought, well, yeah, you could do it there undercover, but I don't know. It just seemed a little bit too fancy an area to have that kind of work area in there, if that makes sense. Hence why I built it this way. And then I thought, oh, this is perfect. We'll just have like a nice wagon, Nord cart with some hay, and then the horse, wheelbarrow, you know, typical kind of things. And again, to give it more light, we did the, again, Nord lantern. This is a fantastic lantern. It's great. And it just lights up that area and then gives detail to the shadows on the actual carts and barrels themselves. And just a simple structure. But yeah, let's open the doors and see, shall we? Okay, so we have some steps here. I'm gonna zoom out so you can see a little bit better. Just something really, really simple to store, you know, some basic tools for whoever is, you know, the maybe gardener. We don't know. It could be used for multiple purposes, right? Bucket, broom, little wardrobe cabinet kind of area. And then here we go. We have a nice huge saw for cutting down some firewood and whatnot. Then we have a nice workbench, armory bench, that kind of thing. And then just to add some interest, I thought with the candles, let's add in these little special collectibles here and there, just to break up the color a little bit. And I just thought, this works great. It's snug, it's up against the rock face. Wouldn't have too much of a draft. There's no windows. I wish I could have put windows, but the piece that I had there was just one big slab. So you're kind of limited. And some of the pieces are quite large. I wish there was an editing tool that you could use. Maybe Bethesda might want to consider that in future. I don't know, but that would be super cool and make things even more interesting and fun for those of you who like to design and build and come up with some really neat ideas. But I like this. I thought it was really smart. And this workbench you can actually collect. And then again, I just wanted a simple bench. And then we have some, different tools here as well. Work on any other little projects. And some place for some books, some storage. Just very simple. But I think it kind of works. And again, I didn't want it too bright, but I didn't want it too dark because of the height too. If you look at the scale with my character, it's on a bit of a slant angle because of the rock face. I couldn't really avoid that. And if she goes up a step, there's no way you'd probably put some hanging lantern or anything. It might look kind of odd and you wouldn't want to bonk your head on that anyways. And because it's all rock, probably would be difficult to anchor something in up above. Hence why the shelving units and the candles that way on the tables as well. And that's what I came up with. This is, the Solitude Gate. And I just used it to kind of work with the structure. I tucked it in and embedded it. And then I used some pieces of, that was not easy, to make kind of the wooden roof sloped. I had to put that on separately and together, but it works. And then going to the next part here. Isn't this beautiful? I love this property. Like, look at all these trees, the mountains, the waterfalls, like everything. And again, we need to light up our path. I love these, the Solitude street light, the lanterns. I like that detail. This structure, again, very simple, but I wanted something because there's a beast, but there's nothing for coverage at all. And yeah, maybe I could have made that over here, but I thought, nah, I'm going to make something, again, kind of simple. Again, use some of this Solitude fence, the stick style, and it looks really, really good. And then I put some of my non-combat pets and my mounts in here. And I thought, what perfect animals would suit this area if you are in Western Skyrim area. There's tons and tons of these different kind of like Highland wolves. And in the game, actually, when you do this area, you actually unlock this particular Solitude Silver Wolf. Because when you get the mounts, they're standard larger, or the non-combat are really, really tiny. But when you go through that particular area and do some of the quests, you actually get this particular little non-combat pet. And I thought, isn't that cool? And I thought, let's showcase this so you guys are aware of that in case you weren't. Yes, you can get that. And you can also get a music box as well, going throughout the quests in Western Skyrim. All right. And again, just, simple trough, some straw, hay, that kind of thing, and then a watering trough. And I thought, again, you could use this for anything. You could put horses in here, but I wanted to put these mounts here. I thought it kind of suited it. It just, I don't know, resonated to me, I guess you could say. And you have the horse pulling the cart anyways down there. Then, as we go a little bit further, the other non-combat and or mount that I put in here was the great elk and this little fawn. And I thought that's really nice visually to showcase this area visually and whatnot. And you can actually go down. There's some stairs here. You can go all the way up, believe it or not. The property is quite huge. And you can see the waterfalls go up there. You can only go up so high, excuse me, because there's always that invisible wall that you guys probably run into. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I think you can't go too much higher before it kind of stops you. Yeah. I think it's about there. Kind of limits you. If you are, you can only go up maybe one more step, but that's about it, give or take. You can go explore up here. Again, if you wanted to, if you had the time, you could do whatever you want with this property. Put some structure maybe up here, some little houses. Who knows? I mean, it's really, really up to you what you wish to do with this property. I wanted to keep it kind of, how do I say? Not too fantasy, but kind of, what's the wording I'm looking for? Basically aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but goes along with the theme, I suppose you could say. Hence why I thought, well, let's just keep it the whole Solitude look about it, but my version or concept, I guess you could say, of that. Let's go here. I could dive, but I don't have, my character doesn't have her bathing suit. Otherwise she would do that. Her Nordic bathing suit. Alrighty. Okay. We're going to do the outer property first, and then I'm going to kind of go in and around, and then eventually inside the house. This is so pretty. That's so wonderful. I just love that site. It's so beautiful. And then this is nice. And again, just to add more light, we have more of these braziers, the Solitude style braziers. These are very, very nice. I like them. They actually produce a lot of light, and I like the height of them as well, which is quite nice. And then there's this lovely little bridge here that you can cross or to get to the other side. Now, this I did a couple different things to as well. It's very, very basic. It's just the landing. It doesn't have all this other stuff that I added to it, which you will see in just a second. I added, actually, I'll use this is a pointer here. I added a bunch more of these trees. I wanted a bit more color and variety, and as well as the creeping ivy and whatnot, and the braziers. And this is what I came up with. This is my concept anyways. We have these braziers here, and I wanted the overgrown look even to go off into the edges as well, which is very, very nice. And I added a bit more of the stonework. It isn't like that, so I made it look a little bit more nicer with proper edge. I think it needed it. And I love these as well, which are the Leeuwin potted plant aspen. But again, just a pop of color, not tons, but it looks really, really nice. And the stone, it kind of blends in with it. Now this is great. The statue of the wolf, yeah. And then this other statue as well. Esgrimor statue. And you can get these. And I thought they were appropriate for this area, obviously. And I'll show you the other one on the other side as well. And then I added this, again, big piece. This is this stone wall that I used for that kind of blacksmith workstation kind of area that I built, that little house. And then added to it, we have a bunch of these creeping vines. And then, believe it or not, behind him, I wanted a bit of something of color, not too much that would really stand out, but I wanted to showcase the statue so you could see it quite clearly. And believe it or not, behind that is a carpet, but I liked it as a tapestry, and I thought, let's put that behind there, behind him, layered it, and then onto the stone, and then layered again the vines, or the lush ivy as it says, around him. And then I put these lovely sconces on either side as well, which are the Solitude style. And then I combined these two together. I thought it just looked better. So he's stepping on the back part, which is the rock underneath this wolf. And you can actually collect in one of the collectibles this particular little statue. It comes as one, but it's miniature, and yeah, I have that. Then going up the stairs here, again, we have these nice trees. I just wanted to add pop more color because really it's just all stone and dirt behind it and a lot of beige, and it's all right, but it just needed a little something. And then we have these, again, more Solitude, different style sconce, and I like that, and I thought that adds a bit of light and, again, interest in detail with the movement, with the air going around it, and I thought that looks really, really sharp. And then just a nice seating arrangement table style here, and again, different type of carpet. It's the wolf's head Solitude carpet border. Again, used it as a tapestry just to make it as a focal point and whatnot. And I like the Solitude table, the Grand Noble style, and armchair. It looks really, really nice. I just thought, you never know, maybe whoever the noble or lord of this particular house, has a nice area to just sit down, relax. I mean, like, look at that view. So pretty, peaceful, serene. I mean, who wouldn't want to hang out here? Really nice. I have seen a bunch of people, they put a whole bunch of these bigger statues in and around the back, and that's fine. You can do that too. You can do whatever you wish. This is just what I came up with, in case you guys want some ideas and are kind of curious. Now, we go down the stairs, and then this is the other statue, Visage of the Skald. And I thought, man, that's great. So you have two of these big structures kind of anchoring on either end this area, and again with the tapestry and whatnot. And I thought, this looks fantastic. What a nice way to kind of showcase this area, right? So this is what I came up with. And then again, you have full access, which is really, really nice, to all of this area back there. If you want to do whatever you wish, you can do anything. I didn't, because I thought, well, I was happy with what I wanted to achieve in this particular area, and I thought, that's good enough. I like it. Don't want it too over the top, if that makes sense, and take away from the rest of the house, because I still had to work on that too, right? And more of the underbrush, plants, vines, again, draping. Again, just to give it a bit more color, just a pop of green, different types of shades. And I did that also on that side too. I just thought it kind of made sense. If there were none, it would be very, very clean and tidy. But I'm assuming that this house has been here a while and probably there's a bit of overgrowth. And again, I added more of the autumn birch style trees because I like the colors, and I thought it also was a nice contrast from like just the pine trees as well, which are there, I believe. Yes, lowland white pine. That's the smaller one, and then they have, I think, a larger one. Which one is that one? Oh yeah, that's the great one. So they come in different sizes and whatnot. All right, now heading back over the bridge. Gonna take a closer look here. Again, kind of another nice area. I'm just thinking, you know, what if you had guests over, visitors or whatnot? Again, you have a nice view of the falls over there, and you have a nice seating area. And I did it like this with the trees, the tables. And then I went with this style with the table and chairs. And then like I love this little board game. This is the Warrior and the Wolf Solitude game. And I thought, perfect. People could take out their drinks, their mead, whatever. And they could commiserate and just hang out and relax. And take their time and just enjoy the views. Excuse me. And then I love these. These are actually very, very nice. You have a couple different styles. These are the Leeuwin window box. Now there's the yellow one, and I think there's one with irises, if I remember correctly. And I thought these actually looked nice. I like that they have plants. I like that the planter boxes themselves kind of work really nicely with the stone. The color's very similar. And I love the pop of color and the plants. And for interest, I thought, let's just do that. So I added those here and there on the property. And this is one way you can get into the house from the back, but we're going to go all the way around and we're going to go through the front and do it properly. Main entrance. I just like this concept in the house and the design. It's really nice with all the wood and the roof. Like, even if you look at the wood, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's really quite a bit of detail in the wood itself. It's all carved and whatnot. And etched, which is really, really nice. And this I thought was neat. And I had to put this in there. I mean, who would pass that up? I had to put dragons. Homage to Skyrim, right? I thought that was appropriate. Let's put that up there. And then this area I thought was really nice. You know, again, if you wanted to have a whole bunch of them meeting, war room tactics, that kind of thing. You never know, right? And then I used a bunch of these different head mounts I thought was appropriate. You have the troll, werewolf. I like the bullhead. I thought that was kind of nice. I went with the bullhead in case you're wondering. You're like, Chibs, that's not from this area. Yeah, but I mean, like, look at how many horn chandeliers. I thought, kind of goes. Makes sense. And that's the style with the Solitude as well. You have the really nice big runner, which, yeah, is the Grand Wolf's head border. And you can tell here because there you go. There you can see the wolf head design. This thing's huge though. It's a massive runner. And then I stacked, yes, 2 of these tables to make it a really, really long table. And I thought whoever is heading this meeting, they should have the noble chair, right? Kind of the head of the table. Whereas the others are basically anybody could attend and whatnot, right? I did it that way. Again, just wanted to keep it simple. Didn't want to take too much away from this area because it's so pretty on its own outside, right? And to give it some more light, we did these Solitude sconce, the horn style, I thought, to kind of match with the chandeliers that have that horn as well. And we did that on all the posts there. And then again, just to add some interesting color, instead of just seeing a string wrapped around as a tied around the posts, I just did it simply like this. Now you're probably thinking, but Jibs, I know you usually put like a lot more detail and things here and there. You are correct. Yes, normally I would, but this house only has 600 traditional furnishing pieces. And believe it or not, you can go through that really, really quickly because every piece, that means every spoon, fork, platter, you name it, adds up like ding, 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 really, really quickly, right? And I had to be careful because I still hadn't even touched the inside of the house. And this is what I came up with. Again, just some interest on the tables here and there with this head mounts. But this is the concept for this particular area that I came up with. I think it actually looks not too bad. Looks really, really sharp. It gives it just enough light, you know what I mean? This is beautiful. This is what I'm talking about. Look at all that etching all around the border. So pretty. Very, very nice. Very, very nice house. It's a nice property, so you can still do a lot with it as well. It's not... Some houses you'll see and it's just mainly the house and there's no property. And then there's some where it's just a huge property and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with all this space? And it can be a bit tricky, I'm not gonna lie. And again, I thought we need more lighting because as you guys know, when it comes to Elder Scrolls Online and their houses, even the properties, they get pretty dark and it's important to have a certain amount of light. So again, we went with the street lights, braziers, and I thought, you know, instead of just having the plain platforms, let's have like a little seating area on either side. So I mirrored that on the left side. And then again, I go over to here. There's some steps that you can enter also from the side this way as well. If I remember correctly, yes, you can cut through the back kind of that way if you want. I never do usually. Hence why I put like some of the boulders and the trees there. Just make it a little bit more difficult. And then, so you can go up either side or straight up the middle here. And I thought that looks nice with the braziers as you're walking up. And again, I went with these planters. Again, just to add a little bit of difference to texture, some color, that kind of thing. You see the Nordic kind of style design again, influenced on the houses here and whatnot. What I really wish actually when it comes to these housing designs and everything, I like how they have, for instance, here, these little shutters on the windows. Now, if anybody's listening from Bethesda, I'm just saying, just hear me out. It'd be really cool if you could have interactive shutters or windows that you could open and close and do stuff with. But maybe it's just too complicated and they just think, nah, just keep it simple. But that would be a nice touch though. Look at this grand entrance. It's really, really nice. Okay, let's go upstairs and check it out. Open, open, open. All right. Now, wow. Holy cow. What is this? Huge hall, right? And again, it's mainly wood, which is very pretty, but there's a lot of it. And I wanted to break it up with a bit of color, but not really take away from the whole structure itself, right? This is the concept and idea that I came up with. Now, again, you may choose to do something absolutely different altogether, which is totally fine. But this is what I came up with. And if it helps you and it's something that you might think, hey, you know what? I really like that. Well, you can use this for reference, which is great. Now, before we go in further, I'm just going to step back a little bit here. So you can see there's the window and there's even area upstairs. You can see which we will get to eventually. Let's start off with the first floor and then work our way up. Now, again, really, really dark. So we need more light. This is a different style sconce as well. This is the Solitude sconce, but wrought iron. And I like this detail actually. I thought that was very, very pretty. And so I added those. And then again, more of these different area rugs. And just to kind of tie this together, I put that style, which is, I can't think off the top of my head, so I'm going to go and cheat. Does it say? Can't remember. Yeah, that's the Wolf's Grand. That's the largest one. It's not hitting the hitbox. I can always look that up later. But I added these trees because of the height. These are Eleanor potted plants, the cypress variety. But look at, I thought, isn't this perfect? It fits really, really great. Now, there's a trick. If you put it the way it should be properly, the base, because it has a little bit more height to it, I had to sink it in. Otherwise, the tops of the tree get kind of cut off. And that's how I made it sort of work that way. And I thought, you know, these really tall pillars, I really liked the grandeur of them, but I really liked the color of these trees. So hence, you'll see a bit of where I'm going with this. Kind of draws your eye all the way to the very, very back, right? And I just love this. I thought, wow, that is a really nice way to kind of showcase and break it up and whatnot. As you can see, the runner is for all these guests, and we have like kind of a dining hall table here. And then at the back, we'll get to that a little bit later. But this is what I did with this. And I love, love, love these chandeliers. These are the Solitude chandelier, which are the steel. And they're very, very nice size, actually. And we have a couple of them here just in this room right now. And again, we continued on with these wrought iron sconces, kind of every other, again, just to light it. And I love how it flickers. And then we also have the candlestick horn, again, going throughout. Now this table is huge. And we have, how many are there? 2, 4, 6 of them together in order to make that large table. And this isn't a table runner. This is another carpet, but I made it work as a table runner. Again, just to break it up so that there wasn't so much wood. And I did it like that and placed it on top. And I thought, you know, this looks really nice instead of having individual chairs. So I went with the pew style as well. And then that way you can have like 2 or 3 people, if you wish, sitting per section. And again, because it adds up each and every piece, it's less pieces if you do it this way. It only takes, well, 6, right? Because there's 3 on either side, versus if you put 2, if you were to break these up into say 2 chairs per 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, right? Half that, which you might want to use for something else in the house, right? Okay. Then as we come up to here, I thought this would be really, really cool area to have the kitchen just off to the side here for preparation and whatnot. Again, went with the large chandeliers. I just thought they'd look perfect in this area. So huge. And I love these. Oops. So we have the Solitude wine rack and full, and I just stacked them. And then went with the Solitude smoking rack and sausage. And again, some baskets, bunch of different ones. I love doing kitchens. If you haven't figured that out already, I love doing kitchens. And we have, again, a bunch of different things and whole mix of stuff. Bread assortment, some spices. I'm going to get out of it because otherwise you're just going to see words. We have a lovely rolling pin, bread, some sweet rolls. Gotta have those. Some different meats, some fish. Again, some little cabinet area, hanging some beets and garlic. And we have meat cleaver and some stews and soups, other pots and pans. I really liked this. It kind of reminded me actually of, is it the Celtic knot type style actually? And again, this is kind of like the serving, not the prep table, but the, you know, when the dishes are ready to go for the servers, you just put them there and then they just take away kind of thing. So they're not in the way of the main cook. Never know. Some really yummy dishes. And I love this style of fireplace. I thought it was fantastic. Really nice. And we have some onions, blueberries, mushrooms, lots of vegetables. Really nice. Tomatoes, beans, corn, you name it. Lettuce, fruit, bunch of different things. More veggie baskets, fruit baskets. Love it. Love it. Very open concept, but it works. It looks really nice. All right, next section. Turn around here. I really wanted to use this painting. This is a beautiful painting, especially if you have like a Nordic home or a Nordic style home. And again, nice area for seating for guests. You just never know who's going to come by and how busy it's going to get. And I did that. And then I showcased again some of these different collectibles here that you can see. And that's the painting of Autumn bolted. It's a nice one. And again, some more pop of color. We have those Leo-in potted plants, but it works with the trees that we had. Also not in, but outside. There we go. And some other artwork. You can put whatever you want. Please keep in mind, be careful when you are placing pieces on the wall. Don't put it too far in on the wall. If it's placed too closely or even embedded a bit more so, once you've done that, unless you undo it, good luck trying to get that piece back. It's going to be permanently stuck there. Unless you really want it in that location, maybe just move it out just a smidge so that doesn't happen. Just a tip and trick. in case you're curious. And then, oh, my nose is so itchy. Excuse me. Sniff, sniff. On this side here, because there's not as big an area, we have a nice little table. Has our lovely little music box here. And this one in particular is Never Fall, Never Die music box. And I like the melody of that one. And then this is the main table. Again, this is a huge carpet, but I liked it and I thought, you know, the design looks really cool. Wouldn't that be neat as a really, really long tapestry kind of in and around that area? And it just kind of highlights the grandeur of this particular area. And the trees on either side, the potted plant cypress trees from Eleanor, again with the color, and another grand fireplace and lovely, lovely mirror as well. I thought it looks really, really pretty in the center. And this is obviously where the lord or lady of the manor would be here, king or queen, whoever you want to imagine, I suppose. And again, combine two tables to make a nice long table, because they would have their own table that they would sit at versus anybody who would be in the main dining hall kind of area. And again, I could have even made this a little bit longer, but I didn't want it too close to them. And I didn't want it too far away. I kind of wanted it as central between these posts, kind of there, as possible. I mean, I could have moved it a smidge closer, but I thought where it was pretty good, actually. Not too bad. And I thought you never know too, because if I wanted to, I don't think I can put him there right now, because I think I am, actually maxed out. But for example, if you go into your services, right, I could have gone down to, where is it here? Don't let the mask fool you. Could add these house guests if you want.
You may think our attention focused on a juggled blade, but in truth, our eyes never leave your smile.
Some of them talk, some of them don't. And for instance, what if, say, I wanted some entertainment, right, for this house? I could have like a gesture kind of character or something like that here. Or I could have, for example, this historian walking around the property, right? And basically just have them do their own thing depending on how it's pathed and whatnot, right? But I wanted the possibility in case I changed my mind, hence that's why I kind of came to that conclusion, in case you're wondering. Now, I love this table. Look at this. Look at all the lovely food. My goodness. I'm just getting hungry and salivating looking at this. Let's take that away so you guys can really enjoy it without the text there popping up. You have these beautiful goblets. I like doing clusters of 3. I find that always looks really, really nice visually. 3s or 5s look really nice, especially if you're mirroring things. And again, I try and do large, medium, small, so kind of staggered. It looks nice. Then mirror it so it's not the same, but we have the 2 tall, like, for example, the tallest bottle there, mid-size, small. Again, we're mirroring it, but the opposite, right? So it looks really, really nice visually. We got onions, we got gravy, we got some buns. Oh, sausage. I think that's ham. I'm not 100% sure. Some different fish, blueberries, some chicken. Oh my goodness. Nice vegetables. And this, it doesn't come like this. I had to take pieces of fruit and put it on an empty platter in order for it to look like that. Again, depends on how nitpicky you want to be, but I like making things look really nice, and I thought this looks really good. We have a pie, we have, again, some ribs. Looks really, really good. I would eat this food. I don't know about you guys, but I would totally be on board with this. Definitely. And then at the same token, they're nice and toasty. They have some heat here. I love this as well. Isn't this pretty? This fireplace is a little bit different than the other one that you saw in the kitchen. Really, really pretty. And so that's what I did for the main head table, I guess you could say, for the owners of this particular property. And then you still have this other side, which is really, really neat too. So let's go and check that out. Now over here, again, I'm thinking because of the size of the house and how open it is, probably going to have quite a few people visiting and whatnot. I like these bookcases. These are really nice, and they come with the books, which is kind of nice. And you don't have to worry about filling them up with books. And that saves you a little bit on the items. I doubled up this style of tables to make it into a larger table. I thought, you know, let's have someone sitting here drinking, playing a game, that kind of scenario. Did that, and then again combined these barrels with the actual barrel rack itself, and again some smoked meat and whatnot. And then, well, we need lots and lots of cakes because, you know, all these Nords tend to drink a lot. And again, went with the ornate wall cabinets, and I just combined them to make kind of one big unit, one long unit. And again, some wine racks on either side, and again, a couple clusters of bottles, mirrored that on that, and made this really nice kind of bar area. The stool, chairs, some people already here who've been served sitting around here. Again, kind of mirrored it on this side. I mean, look at how big. That's a huge, huge long wall, right? And again, I like this fireplace. It matches the same as the kitchen style, and I thought, you know, it works really, really well. And I put that there. And again, some more tables and chairs set up. This is more kind of like the casual area before you'd hang out with a bunch of, you know, your fellow Nordsmen and whatnot. Again, a little bit different style keg. The hefty. This is a red guard, but I liked putting it in there. I just thought it kind of works. And you could just have whoever in there. You could have as many, like, how many chairs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at least. And you could have even people standing and wandering around. Plus you have these pews, plus. I mean, you could have practically, well, maybe not an army, but at least almost, I'd say easily about 30 people in this particular house, no problem, with still lots of room to wander around. All right, now we're going to head upstairs on the first landing area. Now, I decided, believe it or not, to make this area where, I guess, the occupants of this house would have their bedroom kind of area. And the reason why, you'll see, because there's still another level up higher. Again, didn't want just plain wooden floors. I put in the, again, large carpet because it makes sense. We have a seating area again. Some wine Another game. Some bookshelves. This one's a little bit different. Nice desk, writing area. And then we have here our wardrobe. And the night tables. And I thought to break it up to make it nice, I put these Solitude rugs, which is like that cowhide it says. Yeah. And then this is the bed that you can also get, the Solitude bed. Noble double bed. And then I put those types of sconces, the horn style. I thought worked. There's the other wardrobe there. And again, for a bit of privacy, we have these trees, Leeuwin again. And then for more storage, we have the drawers on either side. So you can see throughout, but it kind of has a false sense of sort of a wall without being too much of a big structure blocking the view. And in case you're upstairs and if you want, you can see, oh, well, who's come in and that kind of thing. And if you had to like call for staff or whatnot, you could do so over the railing if you needed to. Again, same with the chandelier. And my goodness, this area is so huge. And then we're going to go up to this last part of the house, which is really cool. Needed some light. Instead of the other big silver style chandelier, or steel, sorry, I went with this style just to break it up so it's not too matchy, I guess you could say. And instead, I thought, you know, this might be a good area, and I'll explain why in a minute here. Because again, what I like is you can look all the way down, which is really, really cool. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of room really to put like a bed without it being kind of crowded. Hence why I thought it was made more sense to put it down there if you wanted to have like a grand like bedroom or something like that. But instead, kind of like outside, I went with this, and I thought this might be an area where you might have staff throughout the day to work on things. And I thought, well, let's put up here a loom. This one's from Clockwork City. I couldn't get the other type that I wanted at the time, so that one had to work. Some fabric, and then kind of, again, reading area if you want a library of sorts. I thought that made sense. And then I put, again, some of the different headpieces here, trophies, in and about to showcase. And then some stacked books. Light reader, not really. And then on this side, it was just too narrow. And I thought, let's just keep it simple. Let's just have that as kind of a focus wall, I guess you could say. And I put those larger pieces there. You can walk past them, but they kind of stick out a little bit. And I didn't want to put anything in and around them. I thought, nah, let's just make it too crowded. So I went with that. And then over here, I thought, oh, this is good. We need a laundry area, obviously. So this corner is just that. There's some baskets, some laundry line hanging there to dry out the clothes, and kind of a sewing area as well, in case some of the clothes need to be made. They could be done so with the various types of, there we go, we have a patching kit. And we have different types of cloth and material. Maybe you need to hem some pants, some socks, fix that. Maybe there's some holes in them. Again, more of these cabinets for storage. And I really like this, the changing room. I thought, oh, that's neat. Put that in the corner with the stool and everything. And then that way, if you needed to get things fitted or hemmed or something like that, then you could do so. And the seamstress is working away on that, right? And then again, another storage area for fabric and books and whatnot, threads, some more baskets, who knows what's in them, more hanging fabric. And then we have the spinning wheel as well. Again, this is Clockwork City spinning wheel. And yeah, that's what I kind of came up with for this particular area. I think it actually turned out not too badly. It's kind of smart, actually. Just do a quick pan of things so you guys can see. In case you missed it, just once over. There you go. And like, look at it. It still goes way up there. Holy cow. My goodness. I mean, if you wanted to, maybe. I don't know how you'd be able to do that. But I think it would be a little bit too crowded. I was thinking if you were really, really creative, maybe you could even do another level. But that might be pushing it because I'm just looking at the height of that crossbeam. Maybe it might not work. But who knows? I mean, you could probably hang some interesting tapestry stuff if you wanted, or some sigils or something like that. You can do whatever you want. But on this house, I'm maxed out. I can't put any more. I'm at my full 600. And that's just to get it to look like that. And then I have 40 out of 40 collectible furnishings. So those are the different trophies that you see. And then the special collectibles are the different mounts that I have. And then special furnishings, those are more, I've mentioned in the past, those are kind of like special effects. For instance, what were some of them? Like the smoke, bubbles, that kind of idea. And there was no real need for that for this. It didn't make sense. But it's there if you wish. I mean, if you want to make this maybe some kind of like spooky or creepy type area, then maybe that's what you want to do. I don't know. I mean, you could do whatever you wish. But for my purposes, I figured, no, this is more than enough, really. So just panning again, in case you missed it. It's a bit tricky, I'm not gonna lie, because I could probably put in more pieces, but these big pillars are a bit problematic because they stick out, and you're kind of limited as to what you're putting in and around it without it looking too funny, because it'll stick out if you put something in front of it. I mean, you could embed it, but that would look weird too. That's not right. Yeah. Really depends. I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably put maybe more of those Eleanor trees here, because I had the height definitely to put them here. But I thought, that kind of takes away from the purpose where they were placed down below. But if I had more space, I might do something to that effect. Who knows? But I thought for now, this kind of worked. I mean, I could have even put some of those planter boxes maybe as well. So they look like they're hanging off the edges, maybe, but I didn't feel it was really necessary. And considering how many pieces I had to use just to get this, I think I did very, very well. But yeah, like I mentioned before, any little piece, ugh. And you look at how huge this actual house is, and that just gets eaten up and you don't even notice it. That's why you kind of have to mix and match when it comes to some of these larger houses. You want to put as many large items first, then work your way down bit by bit, and then figure out your lighting, what you want to showcase, and highlight certain things. And again, mix in different textures, colors, that kind of thing, just to bring more interest. And I love how the flickering of the chandeliers and the braziers and the sconces, it just looks really nice and cozy and warm. Even at the fireplace as well, it just really, really is nice and inviting, I think, just looking at this by itself. And this is the concept that I came up with for this house. Again, I'll just go back here. Do it from the reverse perspective so you can see from all the way back here, if you're sitting here, what it might look like. I'm going to sit in the chair. There you go. If you were sitting as a noble, lord or lady, this is the perspective you would get as you're eating your lovely food as it's being served to you. If you can imagine, picture that. You have a hustle and bustle off to the right from the kitchen, and then the other activity going on the left on the other side where the bar and other things are. I think this would look really, really neat if you could have a bunch of different characters walking around and had more life and animation to it. And then right in front, you'd have your entertainment. You'd have either like your jesters or whatnot doing, or your minstrels doing their kind of thing out there entertaining everybody. I think that would be really, really wonderful. And that was the concept and idea and design behind this. And this is what I came up with. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And again, you don't have to do it this way, but you never know. Maybe you like some of these ideas and you can take away with this, as you will, what works best for you and your house and your situation. Let's exit it here. And again, there you go. Really nice view. So pretty. All the mountains, the trees. Well, it looks like the sun's trying to poke out. These sunbeams are in my eye. Going blind. Sorry about that. Very peaceful, very tranquil indeed. And there you go, guys. That is the house. I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I know I did. I really enjoyed building that house. A lot of fun. Again, kind of pushing the boundaries, coming up with different ideas and concepts. without taking too much away from the main property and sticking with the theme as best as I could. And there's that same style door right there that was used for the kind of blacksmith area. And there's the archway. And I had to combine that with the rest of the structure in order to have that door work on it as well. Which is really, really cool. And again, if you're kind of curious where this is located all the way over here in Western Skyrim. Kind of, there we go. And that's in Tamriel. There's the arrowhead right there. And I think I have, yes I do. While we're here, I'm going to show you the other house actually that you can get for free. Okay, might as well do these two because they're in the same regional area. Now this one, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fast travel because I want you guys to see where the heck this is properly. Let us go to the Way Shrine. There we go. And travel that way. This particular house is an inn suite. Very small. But that's okay. I want to show you what you can do with it, which is really, really cool. Alright. Now, where are we going? This way? I always get kind of confused. Yes. Mark it there. Alright. We're gonna walk through Western Skyrim. Some of you have actually played the original version of Skyrim and be like, oh wow, oh my goodness, I remember this area. I know what that is. I like these buildings. I like the architecture. You got the windmill going on and everything.
Pleased to see you in solitude, stranger.
And we'll go to this afterwards. This is where you can get your furnishing items as well. We'll take a look at that afterwards. There's the main gates. All right, now it's in here. The Lonely Troll. Meh. Says bear. Now, this isn't the house. You have to go through this particular hall. There's a whole bunch of sweet rolls. Can't remember what she says. Oh, yeah. No, I don't want to steal them. Holy sweet roll liturgy. All hail the holy sweet roll, fluffy, gooey, warm, and sweet. All hail the holy sweet roll. All hail this delicious treat. All hail the holy sweet roll, drizzled with its blessed glaze. All hail the holy sweet roll. Our mouths too full to call out praise. All hail the holy sweet roll. Oh my goodness, tongue twister. Nestled in its ebony crate. All hail the holy sweet roll, served upon its divine plate. All hail the holy sweet roll, fluffy, gooey, warm, and sweet. All hail the holy sweet roll. All hail this delicious treat. There you go. I believe she says something. I can't remember now, top of my head.
All praise his rolliness,
There you go.
the patriarch. Join the first church of the Holy Sweet Roll today and taste the glory of this wondrous confection for eternity.
There you go. This is a neat area because, again, you can go here. You can use the cooking fire if you need to do provisioning or anything like that. But they did a really good job. Really, really nice. Now we have to go, I believe it's upstairs. There's a bunch of different rooms that you can check out. But your particular house that you can get for free here is located right here. This is called the Snowmelt Suite Solitude Inn housing, right? Which is right there with all these other things. Okay, let's go check it out. There we go. Again, very small room. You have 30 pieces you can put in here. Tiny. That's the smallest you can do. But you can go up to maximum on some of the small houses, which is closer to like almost 150, maybe 200 if you're lucky, give or take. But if it's the actual inn suites, usually it's only a maximum of 30. Just FYI. I have 30 traditional furnishing pieces. I have 2 collectible furnishing and 2 special collectibles. I don't have any special furnishings because, again, I don't need smoke or fog or bubbles or anything like that. And you're kind of limited as to what they have available for special furnishings as well. And yeah, this is what I came up with. So let's check it out. So right away, bam, there's the door. I'm gonna try and go in first person. I wanted some artwork. It was very, very dark in this room. I had to brighten it up, hence with all the candles, and you'll see what I did. I wanted a nice little seating area. There you go. And I did this. Some drinks, nice game, some cheese, some nice fruit, wine. Again, instead of just the plain wooden floors, I put in this really, really nice rug just to bring some color to it. And then we have off to the left here, writing desk, chair. And then up above, what I did on either, oh no, just on the one side, sorry, pardon me. Again, for some storage, you know, again, a little cabinet, whatnot off to the side. I wanted some plants, but I didn't want something too kind of tall either. And I really liked that potted plant. And I went with that. I put that plant in that particular pot. I thought that looked really good. And then this little guy, he's a bear dog. And I thought, well, because there's bears in this area, kind of made sense. Instead of going with kind of the typical husky dog, I thought I'll choose this guy. It made sense. And then I always like to add some interest and animation. And you have the cat here as well, meowing away, not too happy, having to jump all the way to the top of the bookshelf because the dog is being annoying, obviously, and hyper. And I like this style of bed. It's kind of on the big side, yes, But you know what? I like the style bed better than the smaller beds, and I like the fact that it also had the nice fur for the blankets and detail as well. And I thought, let's just put it in, nestled in that corner. Nice windows. Again, added some lovely paintings here and there, not too many. And we have, again, a nice bookshelf for some storage, knapsack, that kind of thing, whatnot. And then this is the concept of the room. So let me just go back here. Actually, I'm going to jump on the bed. You guys can see a little bit better. Try and do a 180 here of the room panning. And again, I went with the bone chandelier. I thought that looked really, really nice actually, and made sense for this style for the tavern, I guess, versus the steel might be a little bit too fancy. And I think it actually came together quite nicely. Looks pretty good. There's a lot of pieces going on, but at the same token, it works, it blends, it looks really, really sharp. Yeah, and the cat's making sure no one gets inside this suite that shouldn't be. And I have my little storage coffer just in the bottom there. It's a pity because I would have liked to put kind of like a little kind of entrance rug by the door. But the only problem is when you are working on these particular suites, you can't put anything really, really close to the door. If you do, then it won't allow you to place it there. I guess they kind of have a limitation as to how close things can be with the door. I don't know why they do that, but it's unfortunate. It's a bit problematic when you're placing certain items. So keep that in mind. Be very careful about that. And again, because it's a rental suite, I didn't want to go too over the top with a whole bunch of overly fancy things, even though some of the pieces are a little bit on the higher end, but that's okay. I just didn't want to do it all up with tons of paintings and everything. I wanted to kind of keep it like this particular suite is maybe for one of their, higher paying patrons that is renting here kind of thing, versus some of the other suites. And I'll show you the difference and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But I like these pieces and I thought they were very, very nice. And this is what I came up with. And I hope you guys like it. And if you want, you can use it as an example, maybe to help you out if you get this particular room. Again, this is free. This is in Western Skyrim. And if you get a chance, yeah, you should pick it up. All right, let's leave out of here. What I'm going to do is right across from this particular room, I want to show you the difference so you have an idea what I'm talking about with the different type of furniture. There's the high end, which is what was used for that suite as well as the previous house that you saw. Now they have kind of like these little stools, and you'll notice it's a bit more simplistic, kind of, the style, the tables. And the nightstands, bookshelf, it's not as ornate. You know what I mean? It's still fine. But yeah. This is what I'm talking about. The furniture, here you go. The different style kind of chair and tables. Not quite as detailed. I really wanted to use one of the mirrors and put them in that room, but it was such a large piece, it kind of looked too crowded with it in there, and I didn't go with it. This is really nice, this trunk. Nice detailed trunk. This was the other style bed that you could choose from, and I was thinking, nah, I don't like it. If I was actually in that spare bedroom at the inn, I would like something a little bit fancier. And I went with that instead. These are all right. There's nothing wrong with them. But it didn't gravitate to me. And I just thought to myself, I'm a bit picky. And if I can do it the other way, I will. Again, very, very dark. The only light really in here is from that one wall sconce. There's nothing here. Nothing up above. And then the other one is just on the table, and that's it. And that's a shame, Bethesda. Shame on you. You guys should have put at least right there one of those bone style chandeliers just to give it a bit more light. They did here out in the hallway and the stairway, but it would have been nice to have that actually in the room, which is unfortunate. But I guess they kind of wanted that sort of vibe feel about it. A little bit on the darker side. I'm not sure. And then this is the other pieces of furniture you could get. You could have like the plain circular. Oh, hello, PG. I'm glad you're just taking it upon yourself just to walk on it. And then this one has a little bit fancier furniture because it has more of the detailed carvings on the chairs and the table. And then there's his mirror. And then there's this style dresser, which is fine. It doesn't look too bad. And he has some tables and chairs there. And then that's interesting. So instead of putting a divider, they just did it this way. Yeah, and this is the other bed, like the double. I didn't care for it. It's supposed to be like straw bed, I guess, with the fur. Again, it would just seem too plain, and I don't know, maybe I'm just overly picky. You might like it. I don't know. I mean, it's all right if you want a certain type of look. And that just wasn't the look I was going for my room. Again, so dark. So dark. It's a shame because you have the height. Again, you could put a nice chandelier there. But I don't know. I wish I had more pieces because I would have put like a piece like that on the wall, but I wanted more color, hence why I went with paintings. But again, that's kind of lost on these really, really large walls. But this is the difference. Bethesda puts the pieces in there, don't get me wrong, they do an okay job. But it's not very overly inviting and warm, kind of where you're thinking, yeah, I really, really want to be in that room, or I want to spend a lot of time there, for sure. And I think that's the difference between when I decorate, for example, a house or a home or a suite versus how Bethesda does it. Yes, this is the entrance rug I wanted to put, unfortunately, on the other side, but I couldn't because, well, apparently the game doesn't like it when it's that close to the door. It's okay on the outside, but just not on the inside. That's the other thing. You can't decorate on the outside. That's their thing. It's only what is allowed on the inside. If you're a new player, you're kind of limited, and that's what you're stuck with. Let's go back here so you guys can take a look. We got the kitchen here. Don't mind me just cutting through your kitchen. So you can see things. I wish we could do that with the like either swords or shields or axes. I think that would be a really nice like touch. But yeah, I don't know. Unless there's some of you who know a way to do that. I've never seen anybody be able to do that because those would have to be technically furnishing items to place onto the wall, right? And the weapons that you have, that would have been cool. Like say you have stuff that you don't use anymore, but it looks really, really nice and everything. That would be really neat to showcase, as well as say you have an armor set. Like that would have been awesome if you could have, you know, those mannequins that you can dress up with a different armor. You could have like a really cool like armory collection of sorts. I wish Bethesda would do something like that. Again, so any of you developers from maybe working Bethesda, if you're listening or watching, maybe something to consider in future. I think that would be really, really cool. Nice added touch, bonus, detail, however you want to look at it. And again, you have here the brewmaster kind of area. This is what they did. And I like checking out all the different areas because it helps, again, if you want some ideas of how things are placed, or just in general how you would decorate your home. They do a pretty good job. I just think they could up the ante and probably put in a little bit more to make it a bit more interesting. But I understand why they do that because, my goodness, that's why they limit, again, the amount of pieces that you're allowed in your houses. Because if everybody, as is, was to do that, let alone if their game had so many pieces to load in, oh my goodness. If you thought the loading screens were bad enough as is, oh PJ. If you thought the loading screens were bad enough as is, it would be that much worse just trying to load in every twig, branch, fork, spoon, plate, everything. Yes, I know you're sneezing. It's because of all the ash. But considering, pretty good. Not too bad. Again, this is located here on the map. And in Solitude in Western Skyrim. And that you can pick up for free. And I'm not sure, I don't think there's any other houses in this particular area. If there are, I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's just the two, I believe. Now, who's to say? I mean, they might add more in the future. I don't know. Because sometimes they do that. It'll just be random and you're like, oh, wow, okay. For instance, like that new house that came into play. Now, where was that? That is located, hold on. Not in Solitude. I think it's in the, I want to see the, it's at Rift or Eastmarch, I think. I'm trying to remember now. No. Is it that one? Yes. Grand Gallery of Tamriel. This is this new house that you can get. Right. And again, you can get that, like I mentioned, if you missed out, what you need to do, you go to your activity finder, you select the golden pursuits because you want to finish that. And you have to finish 25 accomplishments in order to get the house, right? And you have until the end of the month. And that house is totally worth it. It's a 700 furnishing, traditional furnishing house. It is huge, massive. You will not be disappointed. It is a gorgeous house. There's actually some extras which are really, really nice that they added. And again, this is to commemorate, again, 10 years Elder Scrolls Online has been active. And I guess this is their kind of way of giving back to those of you who have played for a long, long time and would like a house. And the best way to do it is, well, just doing these different pursuits, as they say. And it really doesn't take too long. I think I finished, to be honest, I got it done. Like, I worked at it, I'm not gonna lie. But I was pretty steady putting in my time, and it only took me 3 days. I probably could have got it done less than that if I was in a rush and just wanted to take all the time I wanted to put so many hours into this. But yeah, it took me about 3 days. And the things that I did to complete that, first 5 quests, then an additional 15. This one was really easy to do if you're good at doing your daily login calendar, picking up your items. That's super easy. And I think it was only a total of 15 for that as well, times. It might be too late now to do that because it's getting closer to the end of the month. I think you have about, well, what's it today? For me, it's the 16th. So yeah, you might be able to squeeze it in. And then there's the rewards also for that. And then visiting, so you can visit any house, a player house, 5, and then again at 10 times. And yeah, so I think the first one was 5, and then the other one was 10, kind of like this. They just don't list it as such. And so I just went to my different houses. That was so easy. If you have a whole bunch of houses, or another way you can get around or cheat, if you have a guild that you are on, just go to your different guild members' houses and just pop on in and everything. Load in, then load out, then it counts every time you do that. You have to do it 5 times the first, 10 for the other, and you need to kill, it says in the different areas, 30 foes. So in Ardon, Stormhaven, Eastmarch, that was easy done. Killed 10 public dungeon bosses in Grotwood. Same for the amount of dungeon bosses, but in Rivenspire and Stonefalls, that was simple. And then 5 delve bosses in Baltor, Lanumbra, and Deshaun. That didn't take long. Again, you can pick and choose which ones you wish. And I did catch 40 fish. Kill 200 foes with class abilities. That didn't take long at all. If you're into the card games, I'm not the best at them, so I just bypassed the tribute matches. But I mean, if you're good at that, you might want to do that. And then they have the different dungeons that you can do. You can choose whichever one. You have to complete them 3 times each. I just went with Fungal Grotto, Darkshade Caverns, Wayrest Sewers. I'm not gonna lie, that was a little bit tricky to do those because the queuing times, depending on when you go online to play and whatnot, can be a bit long and tiresome waiting for a group. But they did eventually pop, and I was able to do that 3 times each for those. But as you can see, they have a whole bunch of different dungeons you can choose from. And then I did, 5 incursions. I did the dark anchors. Those are simple to do. And then 50 resources from the world, harvest, and then craft 50 items, and then an additional 10 inside your home. Okay. And then additional crafting of 30 items inside your home as well. And it didn't take long, guys. It really didn't. And they're not specific as to what you have to craft. You can craft anything, which is super cool. And it was bim bam boom done. And I think it's totally worth it. If you get a chance, I highly recommend it. You have until the end of the month. And like I said, you can do any of those, pick and choose. You just need to do 25 different ones, and then you're done. And there you go. Alrighty.
Pleased to see you in solitude, stranger.
Right. Now, before I forget, I want to show this to you guys as well. In this area, there is the lovely furnishing area, Dragon's Hearth. Let's go check it out. When you go here, there are two people you can talk to. You can talk to Masela, which is I believe, the basic.
Looking to settle in here among those close-knit Norns? I have just the thing for you.
Yeah, she does the home goods furnishing, the basic stuff. And again, this is great if you need anything. You just have your basics, but they have, different types of plants, different objects that you might want that are specific kind of to this area. And then again, if you're looking for certain trees, well, this is where you'd find that. And again, you like that solitude fence? Well, there you go. You can get just the single one for 100 gold, or the triple side by side for 250. That's like nothing. And you guys saw how I used that, and it looks really, really nice. And I use that for this house. Not the inn suite, but the other house that I was showcasing earlier. And I've used that on other pieces as well. And then we have other small furnishing types and trees. Again, if you have an area that you want kind of like snow on the trees, well, here you go. Here's some. And these young aspen trees, they look really nice. And there you go. You can get those from her here. And then you talk to this guy.
Should I leave Solitude? That is a question I should answer soon, perhaps. In the meantime, feel free to browse. I'd love to feel useful.
Excuse me. This guy, this is the achievement furnisher. Now, this is what you can get from him. We got this lovely doll. Again, you run into the quest, so you'll recognize that. Again, if you want some really great banners, if you like this one, the Greymoor Keep banner in particular, if you have like a vampire kind of clan thing, you want the look of it, you can get those. These are kind of interesting. The ice statue, where it's all cowering kind of thing and frozen. And then we have the Karthwatch banner that's hanging. And then you can also get the Kynes banner. This one's kind of neat. If you are interested and you want the mammoth cheese, the pungent, for 25k, it can be yours. And that's actually quite large. But again, if you want that kind of thing, because you have giants in the area that are wanting mammoth cheese, well, there you go. You can get even the map of Western Skyrim hanging. That's a nice piece, actually, to have in your house. Once you've completed more and more of the area of Western Skyrim, you have this banner as well, Morthal banner. And again, some of them you can only get if, like it says, requires Western Skyrim Master Angler, right? Achievement to purchase. If you catch all the fish and everything of that particular area, then there you go. For 4,000, you can get that really neat Nord basket trap for fishing. If you have a house and you want that kind of look with it, there you go. Then you can also get this boat. I think this is great too. The Nord boat for fishing. Again, requires Kind's Aegis Conqueror achievement to purchase. And that's 250,000. A bit pricey, but I mean, it's not something that you can't get. You can. You just have to save up your money and whatnot. And if you go about it right, you can save up really quickly. This one, again, 100K. I don't have that kind of cash on me, but yes, it also requires Savior of Western Skyrim achievement to purchase. If you want like a lovely, like huge throne kind of thing, and you're thinking, yeah, that's what I really, really want. That would look really, really cool. I mean, that would look really neat too, I think. It's a very, very big piece. And then they have the Solitude banner, which is hanging. That would look even nice on the house as well. And then throughout, you probably run across these, which are the Witch Pike. Again, if you wanted some creepy element, right, then you could have those in and around your property somewhere. Or if you have a Halloween house or something and you want reference to witch type stuff, then there you go. You could put that in there too. And yeah, so these are the items that this particular character you can access for the achievement furniture, which is really, really nice. I just want to make sure you guys were aware of where this was. Again, in case you're curious, this is in over here, Western Skyrim. You have to go into like the main town of Solitude and zoom all the way in. And it's like literally right across from where you can get your free inn suite, which is right by the brewer right there. There you go. Ta-da! Another thing before I forget, I go all the way over here. I want to make sure you guys are aware of this. If there are a few of you who like to collect, right, the music boxes, yeah, right? Make sure that you do this one quest, which you can get. Where is it here? Right here.
Is the storm over? Are we safe? And
In this building,
damage the tower of the
at the college, is it? Where the minstrel? Yeah, Bard's College. You want to go in here, okay? If you haven't done it yet, you might want to. And what you need to do, there's of course I've completed already. There's a guy who sits here, and you get a quest from him, Bard. And what you need to do, these are all empty normally. And he tells you, you have to find each and every one of these lovely musical instruments. And once he'll give you like a sheet and everything, with clues and whatnot. Now there's a couple of kind of speeding through this and doing a condensed version. There's a little bit more to it. You have to do a couple more steps in between. But basically he tells you, oh, you know, we need this stuff and everything. And the goal is to collect these pieces, and then basically you have to come back, and once you found all of them, then you turn it in, all these pieces, and you just place them back here into the correct. There you go. And it tells you all the details of each and every one of these different pieces and whatnot. And when you get to it, if it's an empty case and you have it, it'll tell you to place it, kind of thing, if you have the right one. You can't PJ, seriously? Can't take it anywhere. There's some drums, right? Kind of like harps or harpsichord type instruments. There's some, really? Seriously? There's some flutes. Yeah, horns, different things. And they go, you have to match with like the plaque that goes with it and the details and everything. And then once you have it, you'll hear the particular sound of the instrument as it's being placed. And then you know, oh yeah, I got it, right? Pan flute. There's a whole bunch that you have to pick up. Once you've done that, just drop them off. And then you come back. Oh, what's going on? I thought my thing was going to crash there for a second. Stalled. And you talk to the bard here and you tell him, yeah, I got them all. And then he's like, oh, wonderful. And then the next step he asks you to do is to put out kind of some advertising of sorts, because they want to have a grand celebration for all these instruments that you collect. And once you do all that, you just post them wherever throughout. And after you're done, then you meet up and they're all here celebrating and whatnot. They have this whole get together and whatnot. And oh, there he is. Except because I've already completed the quest, now it's just this.
You have done the Bard's College a great service. Look at all my fellow musicians playing these fine instruments in concert. Already it is healing old wounds. Maybe I just finished Maestro Nell's plan. Who can say?
And I'll show you what it looks like. Do I have it? Do I have it? Furnishings. Now I won't be able to play it for you guys because I'm not in my house, obviously. And so that's it. The music box, the Merry Mead Maker. That's the name of it in particular. All right. And yeah, it's actually really nice. And it isn't listed where some of the others you can actually purchase from Bethesda that come up every once in a while that are specialty type of music boxes. This one you can only get by doing this particular quest. Again, if you're an avid collector and you want a really nice piece and you want music maybe in your room or your house, whichever size, yeah, I like to put music boxes in there. It just adds a little bit more interest to the room itself. And there you go. And you can do that. Oh, I can hold the preview, actually. My mistake. Oh, there you go. You can listen to it. Okay, my bad. I lied. I just didn't press the right button. So that's what it looks like. Kind of in different design. There's a handle. I wish you could zoom in. It's like, it looks like a moth. Kind of like the big moths that you see playing this game. Fluttering. And then, that's the melody it plays. And as it says, when activated, plays a music box arrangement of the, the jaunty, the Merry Mead Maker composition. So it's quite nice, actually. A little added bonus. you can get that. And then, as I mentioned as well, one of the other quests that you can get is that non-combat pet. And, which is that, where is it? Let me go back. Which is, where is it now? Collections. Non-combat, I believe. Forgive me, there's so many I have collected. That's the one that I had in my inn suite. That's the Markarth bear dog. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, because it's too small for the mount. It shouldn't be under exotic. If it is, I'll be surprised. I don't think so. See, that's the small one. That's the standard, like, wolf pup that you'll get for the non-combat, which are really, really tiny, actually. La 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 la. No, that's a little bit different. That's a different one. Of course, now I won't be able to find it when I want to. Darn it! But it's like in between. There's your regular mount, then there's the really tiny one, and then there's that particular wolf, and it's in between the two. It's like a mid-sized one. Of course, I have so many of these. Oh my... Solitude Silver Wolf. There we go. There. That's the one you get. Yeah. In case you didn't want like the small one and you wanted one to go with the mount that perhaps matches that, you could get the mid-range. And that would look really, really nice actually if you have kind of a character build that has matching wolves or that kind of thing. Yeah, acquired by completing the Vampire Scholar quest in Western Skyrim. So there you go. That's the quest you need to do. Yep. And you get this one. Not bad, actually. I wish that they actually offered that in a bunch of different zones. That would be kind of nice. You get like a housing item and or a non-combat pet. That would be really, really cool. But that's only the case in this particular area for Western Skyrim. And there you go. He's just checking out what they're doing over there. Alrighty. I just want to make sure you guys were aware of that in case you wanted and were like, Chips, where did you get that? Where did you find that? How did you get that? Well, now you guys know.
Is the storm over? Are we safe? And did you see how much damage the Tower of the Wolf sustained?
Everything will be all right. The princess and her allies stopped the Harrowsmith and killed the...
Let's go to the Way Shrine here. I want to get my other stuff done, and I need to fast travel. But that's basically it for the basic walkthrough for the different housing design for tonight. And I hope you enjoyed those two houses. I know I had tons of fun showcasing that. We're gonna go to Belkarth because I want to make sure I get my stuff done, because some of these items are kind of expensive, I'm not gonna lie. And the best way you can make some money is just by doing this. I'm just gonna show you, in case you missed it on one of my previous streams. I like going to Craglorn. You don't have to go here, but I just find everything's really convenient and close by for your daily writs. This is probably the best way to kind of get things done and make some money. And you can do this on as many character builds as you want, as long as they have the capability to do the writs. If not, well, you're kind of stuck with the one that can do it. I'm getting out of here while these guys are throwing mud balls. Okay. Come on, PG, let's go. We're going to pick up these writs first. We'll pull all of them off the board. Now we're going to go to the other side. Let's get all these. There we go. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is how quickly you can get this done. As long as you have the mats, I guess. That's the other thing too, right? But I like going here because everything's convenient, that's for sure. Okay. Creation. Now, it says in the top right, provisioning writ. Let's do this. We need two things we have to make. First one is craft hearty garlic corn, and then the next one is the Marquess mead. Just need one of each. And again, if you have all the different recipes, it'll be way easier. If you don't, what you can do is you can go usually and talk to like the different chef, and they sell so many. And even if you've learned all that, that's okay. If you go to all the different zones and everything, you can collect more and more and more different recipes for food and or for beverages and that kind of thing. And when you get to this point, as long as you have the different materials and or provisioning items in this instance and whatnot, it tells you how many, like a stack. Like some of these things I can make 4.6 thousand. Now if I was inclined to do that, that would be great, but I don't need to. But the great thing is when you do enough of this, it's totally worth it when you're breaking down mats, collecting things along the way, going throughout these different dungeons. You can just pick up stuff left, right, and center, one after another really quickly. Now, and if you do your daily kind of stuff too, right, you can pick up a lot as well, which is very, very handy. And it will tell you, I'm just scrolling down, this is nice, because before, way long time ago, they didn't have it quite so nice where it would say, here it is. So if you made the wrong thing, oops. All right, I have 2,000 I can make of this. They only need one. So let's just craft that. There you go. There's that done. So that's for the food. And it says now craft hearty garlic corn. See in the top right, chowder. 1 out of 1 done. Now we need to make the Marquess mead. So press R1 because I'm on PlayStation, PS4 Pro. PS5, not yet. Anyways. And again, I'm just going to go from the very top to make sure I don't miss any. And you can just see, again, scroll down. There we go. There's Marquess mead. Craft it. Bim, bam, boom, done. And it says, yep, it's all good. Now, if you want to make stuff other than food and drinks, click one more over. And this is where you make your housing stuff, which is really cool. And it'll tell you what exactly you need in order to make all these different things. And again, these housing items, again, you can pick up the different patterns and or recipes throughout Tamriel as you do more and more exploring, dungeons, all this fun stuff. And once you learn them, then they become available. The only thing you have to keep in mind, if you can't make it, it's because you're either missing certain types of materials in order to make it, right? Simple. Okay, Next thing we're gonna do, gonna go out of here. Now we're gonna go over to
The celestial message. In
the other side here.
That's crazy.
Now, let us work on the clothing station. Now, do I have anything to refine? Oh, I have a few things. So let's add it. And some raw ancestor silk. Let's break that down. So you can do it individually, or if you want, you just hold it down and you can do like a stack really, really quickly. Cut down on some time. It's up to you. All right, now it's asking for the clothier. We need to make ancestor silk shoes, sash, and a hat. All right, make sure you're on the right material. There you go. And there's the shoes. Craft that. There's the hat. Craft that. I don't know why they call that a sash. It's a belt, but whatever. C'est la vie. Okay, and that's done. And you go over here quickly, just upstairs. Blacksmithing. Let's see, refine. Get that done. Oop. And anything else? Nope, that's it. Okay, create. Now they want, what is it? Out of rubidite, a greatsword, spatons, and gauntlets. All right. There's the shoes. Craft that. There's the gauntlets. And we need to switch over to weapons. Oh, what was it? A greatsword, wasn't it? There we go. Craft that. And that's done. You could go down the stairs. I just jump out the window and I roll dodge. And then I just go running over here. Do like a full like circle pretty much. Now we're gonna go to woodworking station. Check if there's anything to refine. Oh, there is. Okay. Oh, I got a lot of ruby ash. There you go. Nice. Let's create. Now, what do they want? An inferno staff, a lightning staff, and a ice staff. All right. And we gotta make sure it's on ruby ash. Yep. Okay. Inferno. Craft. Ice. And lightning. Okay. That's all done. No more with this person. Okay. Then we just run down here. Bypass these guys. Come over here. Enchanting table. We need to create. Now they want craft a superb glyph with health with Ta and acquire Jahad potency rune. And I already have one of that filled out. And it needs, yeah, so just to make the glyph of health. Okay, now we need, let's see, what does it say here? It should highlight it. There we go. Rajora. Add that. And we need the other type of runestone. Oh, which one does it say? Oko. And then the last one. Holy cow, I didn't realize I have 1.4 Rakuta. That's pretty good. And then I have 108 Kuta. That's insane. Okay, and we need so many of Taz. There we go. And let's craft. Okay, that's done. Now we need to do the jewelry. And do I have anything to refine? Oh, I do. Let's add that. Platinum dust, that's done. Creation. They want craft 2 platinum necklaces. Okay. And I'm on platinum already. And they want necklaces, 2 of them. Okay, craft 1 and 2. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I don't think I've gone upstairs. Or if I did, it was a long time ago. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. There's only these little things. Always gotta take advantage of those bookshelves. Let's see here. And don't forget this, alchemy. Alright, create. Need a poison. And in order to do that, let's see. There's a bunch of components we need. We need what? Let's see. Alchest. And what do we need for this? We need, Rusula. Mushrooms. We need flesh fly larva. And imp stool. Ooh. Or I could have used that one as well if I wanted. Actually, I have more of those. Let me put those in there. Okay. And craft. Ooh. Done. So you get 3 of them done here. That's why I usually leave that for last. Okay. And get it on PJ Senior. And just run. And then you just deliver them
I
here.
wish I had time to help Errol, but my hands are full right now.
Place the goods. 701 gold. Plus you get some more supplies. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Not bad. Now I'm up. Let's see the supplies. What did I get? I got all these different things from that, which is really nice. Again, you can go through them and open them up. And you can do with it as you like. You can either sell them if you want to make more money, or you can just add that to your collection of what you have already of mats. There you go. So we're going to take all of them. And there you go. You get a sealed blacksmithing writ, which is nice. And you get a repair kit and some ingots and then some of these other pieces. So again, if you want to learn anything that you haven't learned already, you can do that by breaking down and some of these different things. So we're going to take all of that. Same with this. Oh, nice. They gave me a Kuda. Awesome. Nice, nice. Okay, I think I already have that recipe. That's okay. But you can always sell it, or you can give it to someone else who might need it. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna put some of those, I think, in my bank because you can easily like stack up on those for sure. Where is Mr. Fizzez? Let's talk to him.
Unburden your pack.
Okay. I already know that, so I can sell that. Don't sell that. Don't need those. No, 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 no. Housing stuff, no. Can't sell it to him anyways, and that's it. And if you get into that habit of doing that each and every day, it only takes a second. It's totally worth it. It's a nice way to get a good return on mats as well as make some nice coin. Again, if you have like a whole bunch of different builds, like different characters, oh my goodness, if you did that each and every day with each of those different characters, as long as they are maxed out, so for example, right, on their skills, this is what I'm talking about. You have to have 50 on each of them. Alchemy, blacksmithing, clothing, enchanting, jewelry crafting, provisioning, and woodworking. As long as they're maxed out on that, then you'll have no issues whatsoever. Now, does that mean you have to make them all crafters? No, you don't have to. But if you want to take advantage of that with each of the different character builds to make that much more money, then that's what you'll have to do. And you can keep one as like your main crafter if you wish. Because if you only unlock so many and not the full 50, if there's certain things that they ask you to make and you don't have that skill, then you can't make it, right? That's why you have to do that. Just FYI. Thought I'd let you guys know. Those of you who are in the know already, you already know that. You don't need to know that. But I'm just thinking in case there's some new people who are watching and are new to the game, ESO itself, and might not know how to make some money and how to take advantage of all the different aspects of the game. Well, there you go. And I think on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to call it. And I'm going to park my character by the way shrine. For now. But holy cow, guys, I had tons of fun. I just want to say thank you very much for those of you who stopped by. And I really do hope and appreciate that you enjoyed the different builds that I showcased today. So there's two different ones. Again, the two that I showcased, if you're interested, they were both in Western Skyrim. The first one was this one. I can't pronounce this. Antiquarian's Alpine Gallery. I don't know. Tongue twister for me today. That or I'm tired, one or the other. The other one actually was just over here, which is Snowmelt Suite. Again, this one is free. This one currently now is not free, but at the time I was able to get that one free when it was available for special promotional purposes when Western Skyrim was first available on Elder Scrolls Online. And again, I can't stress enough, guys, I just want to make sure you guys are aware of this. I got it done. I think you guys should too, in celebration, like I said, for the 10-year anniversary for Elder Scrolls Online to commemorate. Get this done. You won't be disappointed. The house I have from this is totally worth it. It's the largest possible house that you can get. 700 total classical furnishing pieces. That doesn't include all the other ones that you can put in on top of that. But yeah, and really worth it. Doesn't take that long. You have until the end of the month to do that. I highly recommend it. If you haven't had a chance, just do it. I think it's totally worth it. But if you're not into it, I mean, that's up to you, right? There you go. But again, thank you so much for those of you who showed up and watched. And if you missed out, don't worry. It will be recorded and down below on my actual page, so you can check it out, the walkthrough of the different design and build that I did for those two houses. And it's up for 14 days. And then after that, well, Twitch takes it down, but that's okay. All my housing builds that I showcase, especially on Elder Scrolls stuff and other games like Conan and things like that, I'm putting all on my YouTube channel. And if you guys want to use them for references to do certain things or get ideas or anything like that, you can check it out there. And all that information is on the actual About page itself, which is really, really nice. And if you would like, you're more than welcome to follow me. I do these different house design tours. I do them at least, I try and do them every 1 to 2 weeks if I can, depending on what I'm working on. I have quite a few houses. I still have more I have to finish. It's an ongoing love. Just trying to get all those mats. That's where it gets tricky, and it's a bit time consuming, I'm not gonna lie. And then putting it all together and whatnot. But as you guys have seen, it's totally worth it in the end. It looks fantastic. Alright guys, until next time, I will be back again tomorrow evening. And not sure if I'm going to show another house to you guys. If not, it'll be a combination of house and or some PvE adventuring and whatnot. Until next time guys, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a fantastic day, afternoon and or evening, wherever you are. And I hope you learn some stuff and could take away from that. And again, if you want, you can follow me here on Twitch by all means. If you do, make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on this and many other different streams that I showcase different variety of games. My main love is Elder Scrolls, I'm not gonna lie. But there are other games too that I enjoy to play as well. I think tomorrow morning, around, I want to say around 11-ish, I'm going to be streaming with one of my other friends. We're playing the game Repo, which is quite entertaining and challenging for myself. If you want some giggles and laughs at my expense, well, you're more than welcome to join then. And again, I'm showcasing here from Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. So it's Pacific PST, Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, we'll catch you guys later on the flip side. Until then, thank you guys, and it's a pleasure as always. Till next time, later guys, have a good one. Bye!